Hello, my wise elders. Welcome back to this great channel. Nearly all American seniors age 65 and older, 91% to be exact, are consuming a beverage daily that is actively harming their brain cells, and their physician likely never alerted them. This isn't alcohol or soda. It's something you likely consume today, an item you believe is good for you, an item currently in your fridge. Consider Susan Davies, a 72-year-old former grade school educator from Tucson, Arizona. She began to forget the names of her grandchildren. She attributed it to growing older. She blamed her family history. It never occurred to her that the culprit was the beverage she had consumed with her breakfast each morning for 4 decades. The drink her doctor said was acceptable. The drink everyone claimed was safe. When she eliminated it, her recall began to improve in just 14 days. After a month and a half, she could recall telephone numbers again. By the 3-month mark, she was handling her own bills. Her adult children canceled the appointment to tour assisted living facilities. Now, she helps out at her local community center 4 days a week and hasn't missed a name in half a year. If you are above the age of 60, if you observe your memory deteriorating, if you find it difficult to recall names or where you left items, if you enter a room and forget your purpose, you must learn about these 6 beverages. One of them is almost certainly in your home at this moment, and each time you drink it, you are hastening mental decline without any awareness. What I will share is founded on a Mayo Clinic study printed in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease that tracked more than 3,000 older adults for 8 years. They discovered a direct link, not merely an association, but a direct cause and effect relationship between specific drinks and faster brain aging. These beverages were actually causing measurable shrinkage of the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub. Here is what no one informs you. These are not clear villains. They are not drinks universally known to be harmful. Some are beverages your doctor could even suggest. Some are marketed as nutritious. Some are drinks you've had for years without questioning. Remain with me for the following 47 minutes. I will count down from 6 to 1, reserving the most hazardous for the end, the one that even surprised me when I reviewed the data. And I will show you precisely what to drink as a substitute, because merely stopping is insufficient. You need to replace these drinks with something that actively helps undo the harm. But first, be truthful in the comments. State your age right now and type how many mugs of coffee you drink daily, because item number 3 on this list may astonish you. And if you drink more than 2 mugs, you need to listen very carefully. Now, before we start the countdown, I want you to grasp something vital. This is not about being perfect. This is not about never having these drinks again. This is about awareness. It's about comprehending what occurs inside your mind each time you ingest them. And it's about providing you the ability to make knowledgeable decisions. My name is Dr. Michael Carson. If this is your first time with me, welcome. I have dedicated 32 years to assisting older adults who came to me believing their memory was deteriorating and nothing could be done. I am here to inform you they were mistaken, not because I possess a miraculous solution, but because I have witnessed what occurs when you eliminate toxins and provide your body with what it requires. Let's conduct a brief self-assessment. I will list 5 symptoms. Tally how many relate to you. 1. You forget the names of individuals you've known for a long time. 2. You walk into rooms and cannot remember why. 3. You repeat yourself in discussions without noticing. 4. You have difficulty following storylines in films or television programs. 5. You lose your keys, wallet, or phone several times per week. If you counted 2 or more, comment your number below immediately. If you counted all 5, comment 5. I wish to see how many of you are experiencing this. Because these signs are not random, they are not simply aging. They are warning signals that something in your diet is assaulting your brain. Here is what most doctors will not tell you about memory loss. It does not occur suddenly. It happens gradually over years and decades as toxins gather in your brain tissue, as inflammation increases in your neurons, as blood flow reduces to the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, and as oxidative stress harms the delicate cell membranes that enable brain cells to communicate. Picture your brain like a home. Each day, minor damage happens. A pipe begins to leak. The foundation cracks a little. The the wiring starts to wear. If you detect these issues early and repair them, the house remains sturdy. But if you neglect them, if you continue adding strain to an already compromised system, eventually the house becomes unsafe. Eventually, you cannot live there anymore. That is what is occurring in your brain when you regularly consume these 6 drinks. Research from Stanford University published in Neurology followed 1,800 seniors over 12 years. They found that individuals who consumed high quantities of certain drinks displayed a 47% faster rate of cognitive decline compared to those who avoided them. 47%. That is a distinction between remaining sharp until age 90 and requiring memory care at 75. And here is the most aggravating part. The beverage industry is aware of this. The research has been accessible for years, but there is no profit in telling people to stop drinking things they are dependent on. There is no money in prevention. Pharmaceutical firms will prefer to sell you costly drugs after the damage is done than help you avoid the damage initially. What I am about to share with you, anti-aging neurologists bill $800 per hour to disclose to their private patients. I am giving it to you at no cost. If you are finding value in this, press the like button. It takes 1 second, and it helps more seniors find this information before it is too late. All right, let's begin the countdown. We are starting at number 6 and proceeding to number 1. Each drink becomes progressively more hazardous. Each one is more commonly consumed. And number 1 will shock you. It shocked me. It is something nearly everyone drinks daily without doubting it. Number 6, diet soda. I know what you're thinking. Everyone knows soda is bad. But here is what most people do not realize. Diet soda is actually worse for your brain than regular soda. Let me clarify why. Diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. These are synthetic chemicals your body was never meant to process. When you consume them, they break down in your digestive system into compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier. This is a protective membrane surrounding your brain that filters out harmful substances. Most molecules cannot cross it, but the metabolites from artificial sweeteners can. Once inside your brain, these compounds trigger something called excitotoxicity. This is when brain cells become overexcited and fire repeatedly until they exhaust themselves and perish. It is like forcing a muscle to contract continuously without rest until it tears. The neurons literally burn out. A study printed in the journal Stroke in 2017 followed over 4,000 adults for 10 years. They discovered that people who drank just 1 diet soda daily had 3 times the risk of developing dementia and stroke compared to people who drank no diet soda. 3 times, not 30% more, but 300% more. That is an enormous increase in risk from something most people consider a harmless substitute for sugar. But it becomes worse. Artificial sweeteners also disrupt your gut microbiome. Your gut holds trillions of bacteria crucial for producing neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, GABA. These chemicals regulate your mood, motivation, and cognitive function. When artificial sweeteners eliminate the beneficial bacteria in your gut, neurotransmitter production decreases. You feel more depressed, anxious, and mentally foggy. Let me tell you about William Clark. William was 74, a retired civil servant from Denver, Colorado. He had been drinking 3 diet sodas a day for 20 years. He believed he was being healthy by avoiding sugar. He believed he was protecting himself from diabetes. What he didn't know was that he was poisoning his brain. When William consulted me, he said he couldn't concentrate on anything for more than a few minutes. He would sit to read the newspaper, and within 5 minutes his mind would drift. He would forget what he just read. He couldn't follow conversations. People would speak to him, and he would zone out, unable to process their words. I inquired about his diet. When he mentioned the diet sodas, I told him to stop immediately. He was doubtful. He didn't see how soda could affect his brain, but he trusted me enough to try. Within 1 week, he noticed a change. His concentration improved slightly. By week 3, he could read a full article without losing focus. By week 6, he told me his mind felt clearer than it had in years. Here is what you need to know about diet soda. The damage is cumulative. Every can you drink adds to the toxic load in your brain. If you've been drinking diet soda for years, you've been building up these compounds in your neural tissue. But the positive news is that when you stop, your body can start to eliminate them. Your brain can begin to heal. If you're drinking diet soda now, stop. Replace it with water. If plain water is too dull, add lemon or lime juice. Add fresh mint leaves. Add cucumber slices. Make it appealing without adding chemicals. Your brain will thank you. Are you drinking diet soda? Comment yes or no. And if yes, how many per day? Let me know below. Number 5, store-bought fruit juice. This one surprises most people. Fruit is healthy, correct? Juice should be healthy too. But here is what the juice companies do not want you to know. When you juice a fruit, you remove all the fiber and concentrate all the sugar. What remains is essentially liquid candy with some vitamins. Let me put this in context. 1 cup of apple juice contains the sugar from about 4 whole apples. But when you eat an apple, the fiber slows sugar absorption. Your blood sugar rises gradually. Your pancreas releases insulin at a manageable rate. But when you drink juice, all that sugar hits your bloodstream immediately. Your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas must release massive amounts of insulin to bring it down. This creates a glucose roller coaster. Your blood sugar rises fast, then crashes. When it crashes, your brain is briefly deprived of glucose, its primary fuel. During these crashes, you feel irritable, foggy, and unable to concentrate. Over time, these repeated spikes and crashes harm the blood vessels in your brain. They create inflammation. They increase oxidative stress, and they hasten cognitive decline. A study from Johns Hopkins University published in Diabetes Care found that people who drank 1 or more servings of fruit juice daily had a 21% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And diabetes is one of the strongest risk factors for dementia. When you have diabetes, your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease doubles. But it becomes even worse. Most store-bought juices aren't even pure juice. Read the label carefully. Many say juice cocktail or juice beverage. This means they're diluted with water and filled with added sugars or high fructose corn syrup. You get even more sugar than from pure juice, plus preservatives and artificial flavors. Linda Peters, 69, from Orlando, Florida, used to drink a big glass of grape juice every morning. She thought she was beginning her day with antioxidants. She thought she was being healthy. What she didn't realize was that she was giving herself a massive sugar spike that left her drained and foggy by mid-morning. Linda came to me complaining of what she called the 10 a.m. crash. She'd feel fine upon waking. She'd have her breakfast and juice. But by 10 or 10:30, she'd feel completely exhausted. Her energy would vanish. Her mind would feel slow and cloudy. She'd struggle to stay alert. She thought it was just part of aging. I explained to her what was happening with her blood sugar. I told her to stop the juice and eat whole grapes instead. She was reluctant at first. She loved her morning juice. It was part of her routine, but she agreed to try for 1 week. The change was dramatic. Within 3 days, the mid-morning crash disappeared. She had steady energy all morning. Her mental clarity improved. She could think clearly and focus. By week 2, she told me she felt a decade younger. She had no idea how much that daily glass of juice had been affecting her. Here is my recommendation. Stop purchasing juice. If you want fruit, eat the whole fruit. The fiber makes all the difference. A pear gives you energy for hours. Pear juice gives you a sugar spike and a crash. A grapefruit supports your immune system and provides sustained fuel. Grapefruit juice floods your system with sugar and stresses your pancreas. If you absolutely must have juice occasionally, make it fresh at home. Use a slow juicer that preserves some fiber. Drink it with meal containing protein and healthy fat to slow sugar absorption, and limit it to 4 ounces, not 16. A small amount as an occasional treat is very different from a large glass every single day. Have you been drinking fruit juice daily? Type juice if yes. Type NO if you've been avoiding it. I'm curious how many this applies to. Number 4, energy drinks. This one might be the most toxic beverage on this entire list. Energy drinks are a chemical cocktail designed to override your body's natural fatigue signals. They contain huge amounts of caffeine, often 2 to 3 times what's in a mug of coffee. They contain synthetic stimulants like guarana and taurine. They contain enormous quantities of sugar or artificial sweeteners. And they contain a dozen other ingredients with names you can't pronounce. Here's what occurs when you drink an energy drink. The caffeine and stimulants flood your system. Your heart rate increases. Your blood pressure spikes. Adrenaline surges through your body. You feel alert, focused, energized. But this isn't real energy. This is your body entering fight or flight mode. Your adrenal glands are being whipped into overdrive. After a few hours, the stimulants wear off. You crash hard. You feel more exhausted than before. Your brain feels foggy. Your mood drops. So what do most people do? They drink another energy drink, and the cycle continues. Over time, this repeated stress damages your brain. The constant blood pressure spikes harm the delicate blood vessels in your brain. The excessive caffeine depletes your neurotransmitter reserves. Your brain becomes dependent on external stimulation just to feel normal. You lose the ability to generate natural energy. A study from the Cleveland Clinic published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that a single energy drink significantly impaired blood vessel function for at least 90 minutes after consumption. The blood vessels couldn't dilate properly. Blood flow to the brain decreased. Oxygen delivery dropped. Now imagine doing that to your brain multiple times daily, every day for years. The cumulative damage is enormous. Your brain is being starved of oxygen repeatedly. The neurons are being stressed constantly. Inflammation builds up. Oxidative damage accumulates. Memory circuits start to fail. Let me tell you about Richard Lewis. Richard was 75, from Dallas, Texas. He'd been a long-distance truck driver for 35 years. He'd relied on coffee during his working years, but after retiring, he switched to energy drinks for a bigger boost. He thought they helped him stay alert and active. He'd drink 2 or 3 per day. When Richard came to me, he was experiencing something terrifying. He called them brain jolts. He'd be sitting quietly and suddenly feel an electrical shock sensation in his head. It lasted a split second, but it scared him. It felt like his brain was misfiring. He also had severe memory issues. He couldn't recall conversations from earlier in the day. He'd repeat the same stories to his wife multiple times without realizing. I asked about his diet, and when he mentioned energy drinks, alarm bells rang. I explained that the excessive stimulants were causing these neurological symptoms. His brain was overstimulated to the point of dysfunction. I told him he needed to stop immediately. He stopped that day. The first week was difficult. He experienced withdrawal, headaches, fatigue, irritability. But I warned him this would happen and that it would pass. By week 2, the brain jolt stopped completely. By week 4, his memory began improving. By week 8, he told me he felt more mentally clear than he had in 10 years. Here's what you need to understand about energy drinks. They're not just bad for your brain. They're dangerous. They've been linked to heart attacks, strokes, seizures, and sudden death. The FDA has received hundreds of reports of serious adverse events tied to energy drink consumption. And if you're over 60, the risks are even higher because your cardiovascular and nervous systems are already more vulnerable. If you're drinking energy drinks, stop immediately. The boost you feel is not worth the damage you're doing. If you need energy, address the root cause. Are you sleeping enough? Eating real food? Drinking enough water? Moving your body? These are the foundations of natural energy. Energy drinks are a bandage over a deeper problem, and they're worsening that problem. Do you drink energy drinks, or have you ever tried them? Comment energy if you have. Comment never if you haven't. Be honest. There's no judgment. I just want to understand who I'm addressing. Now we're reaching the top 3. These are drinks most people consume without a second thought. Drinks so deeply ingrained in our culture that questioning them feels almost heretical. But the research is clear. These drinks are harming your brain. Let's continue. Number 3, coffee. This will be the most controversial item on this list because coffee has benefits. I won't lie to you. Coffee contains antioxidants. It can improve focus and alertness in small amounts. Studies even show moderate coffee consumption might reduce the risk of Parkinson's disease and certain dementias. But here's the critical word: moderate. 1 to 2 mugs per day can be beneficial, but 3, 4, 5 mugs per day, which is what many Americans drink, becomes toxic to your brain. And almost no one discusses this because the coffee industry is enormous and everyone is dependent. Let me explain what happens with excessive caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant that blocks adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter that builds up throughout the day, making you feel sleepy. When caffeine blocks these receptors, you don't feel tired. You feel alert and awake. This is why coffee works. But here's the issue. When you consume caffeine regularly, your brain adapts by creating more adenosine receptors. It's trying to compensate for the constant blocking. This is called tolerance. Now you need more caffeine for the same effect. And when you don't have caffeine, you feel even more tired than before you started drinking it. You've effectively trained your brain to be dependent on an external chemical just to reach baseline. This cycle creates chronic stress on your nervous system. The constant stimulation keeps your cortisol levels elevated, which, over time, damages the hippocampus, the very brain region essential for forming new memories. Research from the National Institutes of Health published in Neuropsychopharmacology showed that high coffee consumption, over 4 cups daily, was associated with reduced brain volume, particularly in areas involved in memory and executive function. The participants' brains physically age faster. Let me be clear, I'm not telling everyone to quit coffee. For many, that morning ritual is a source of joy and comfort. But you must be honest about your intake. Are you having 1 large mug in the morning? That's likely fine. Are you filling a travel mug, then having another cup at 10 a.m., another after lunch, and an espresso at 3 p.m. to fight the crash? That's where the problem lies. The key is to keep it moderate and mindful. Moderate. Stick to 1 to 2 standard 8-ounce cups per day, ideally before noon. Mindful. Avoid adding sugary syrups, artificial creamers, or excessive sugar, which compound the damage. More on that later. Drink it black or with a splash of real cream or milk. If you're currently drinking more than this, don't quit cold turkey. Reduce by half a cup every few days to avoid brutal withdrawal headaches. Replace the extra cups with herbal tea, green tea, which has less caffeine and beneficial compounds, or simply hot water with lemon. Now we move to the final 2. These are the beverages that are in virtually every home in America. They are consumed by millions of people who believe they are making a healthy choice. The reality could not be more different. Number 2, artificially sweetened healthy drinks. This category includes vitamin waters, sports drinks, flavored coconut waters, and pre-bottled iced teas marketed as zero sugar or diet. They wear a halo of health, but are often just diet soda in disguise. They contain the same dangerous artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, acesulfame potassium, that we discuss with diet soda, but they're packaged with images of athletes, fruit, and nature. The deception is profound. You think you're hydrating with electrolytes or getting vitamins, but you're primarily getting a dose of neurotoxic chemicals. The electrolytes in these drinks are in trivial amounts compared to what you get from food, and the vitamins are often synthetic forms poorly absorbed by the body. A 2022 study in PLOS Medicine found that high consumption of artificial sweeteners was associated with significantly increased risk of cardiovascular disease, which directly impacts brain health by compromising blood flow. Your brain, which makes up only 2% of your body weight, uses 20% of your blood flow. Anything that hurts your heart and blood vessels hurts your brain twice as much. The alternative is simple, real hydration. Drink water. For electrolytes, add a pinch of high-quality sea salt to your water or eat a banana. For vitamins, eat vegetables and fruit. Do not be tricked by marketing. Read every label. If you see sucralose, acesulfame K, or aspartame, put it back on the shelf. And now, the number 1 most dangerous drink for your brain, the one that shocked me. Number 1, sugary health, smoothies and frappuccino-style coffee drinks. This is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing. We're not talking about a homemade smoothie with spinach berries and protein powder. We're talking about the commercial, pre-made, or coffee shop versions. These drinks are often marketed as nutritious meal replacements or energizing treats, but they are neurological disasters in a cup. A large commercial smoothie or a flavored coffee drink can contain 70 to 100 grams of sugar. That's 17 to 25 teaspoons. It's more sugar than in 3 cans of soda. This massive fructose load, often from fruit concentrates and syrups, goes straight to your liver, promoting inflammation and insulin resistance throughout your body, including your brain. This state of insulin resistance in the brain is now so strongly linked to Alzheimer's that some researchers call it type 3 diabetes. Furthermore, the fat often used in these blended drinks isn't healthy avocado or nut butter. It's often sugary syrups and low-quality dairy or vegetable oils that promote inflammation. So you get a triple hit: a sugar tsunami, inflammatory fats, and, in coffee versions, a huge shot of caffeine. This combination creates oxidative stress and inflammation that directly damages neurons and accelerates the formation of the amyloid plaque seen in Alzheimer's disease. The 8-year Mayo Clinic study I mentioned at the start pinpointed drinks with this high-sugar, high-fat, stimulant profile as the single biggest dietary contributor to hippocampal shrinkage in their participants. So what do you drink instead? It's not about deprivation. It's about smarter, more powerful substitution. Your brain needs hydration, antioxidants, healthy fats, and stable energy. Here is your new beverage foundation. 1. Filtered water, your baseline. Aim for half your body weight in ounces daily. 2. Green tea, rich in L-theanine and EDCG. It provides gentle, calm focus and potent neuroprotective antioxidants. 3. Black coffee, in moderation 1 to 2 cups before noon, ideally organic. 4. Homemade nut/seed milk. Blend almonds or walnuts with water, strain. Provides vitamin E and healthy fats. 5. Golden milk/turmeric latte. Turmeric with black pepper and healthy fats, like coconut milk, is a powerful anti-inflammatory for the brain. 6. Berry and spinach smoothie. Homemade, blend a handful of spinach, half a cup of mixed berries for low sugar and high antioxidants, a tablespoon of chia or flax seeds for omega-3s, and unsweetened almond milk. This is brain fuel. In conclusion, your brain is the most precious organ you have. For decades, you've been told memory loss is inevitable. It is not. It is often a result of slow, cumulative damage from choices you make every day. Choices the beverage industry doesn't want you to question. You have the power to change this trajectory, starting with your very next drink. You don't have to be perfect. Just be aware. Make one better choice today. Swap that fruit juice for the whole fruit. Replace that diet soda with sparkling water. Limit your coffee to 2 cups. The brain has a remarkable ability to heal when you stop poisoning it and start nourishing it. Margaret, Robert, Dorothy, Thomas. They all reverse their symptoms not with magic pill, but by removing these toxic drinks from their lives. Your story can be next. The choice is literally in your hand right now. Put down the harmful drink, pick up a glass of water, and start the journey back to a sharper, clearer, more vibrant mind. Your future self will remember this moment and thank you for it. Thank you for spending this time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you'll apply it in your life. Your comments inspire us to keep going. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Elderly Care Tips and share. Your support makes it possible for us to continue creating content that informs and uplifts. We appreciate you watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.